early on in the first half, I felt like we hung on quite a bit. We didn't get our numbers right to get pressure, so we ended up defending really, really deep. Obviously disappointing to give up the goal, but I thought in the second half when we came out, we looked a lot more controlled, put together some good attacks. And I think what we're seeing is a combination of things. Obviously, Atlanta has some really, really good players, some very, very good individual players. And I think we are definitely a bit fatigued. The guys in the midfield have been putting a lot of minutes in and covering a lot of yards. And I feel like throughout the group, we just looked a little bit tired today. Having said that, I felt like I said, the early part of the second half was quite good and promising, and we felt like something was coming. And probably the biggest thing that the team has to learn from this is that sometimes things don't go your way, but one goal can't turn into 4 goals. And it's something we've talked about for a while, and a lesson that we still have yet to learn.
We'll turn to Brendan Plummer, Coach.
Hey, Robin, thanks for the time.
Sure, thanks, Brendan.
Yeah, I guess, what was the message to the team after that one? Was it, and I guess what was the locker room like, atmosphere-wise? Was it maybe shock or frustration, or how do you sum that one up?
I think I just did, Brendan. It's disappointment. It's disappointment because they know they can do better. It's disappointment because I think up to about the 80th minute, it was still 1-0. We're close to the 80th minute. I could be wrong. But I thought the second half was decent. And a lot of our problems occurred from our own turnovers. So I think there is disappointment that we know that we could have done better. There's disappointment that we gave up too many goals in the dying moments. And it's one thing to chase a game, but to chase a game and give up a goal might be one thing, but to chase a game and give up 3 goals is not okay.
Turn to Matt Pollard, operating wave.
Robin, thanks for the time. Just one shot in the first half. What did you want to see more of or differently in terms of the attack? What wasn't working? And your thoughts on Johnny to maybe be a solution there?
We just weren't good enough with the ball. Too many turnovers, and turnovers led to counterattacks. Turnovers led to eroding our confidence. Turnovers led to us defending for quite a long time. And when we're good with the ball, we can create more opportunities. We can defend less. So the constant turnovers, I think, were really at the end of the day, the story of the game.
Brendan Nurse, Sports Magazine.
Hey, Coach, thanks for the time.
Sure.
You kind of touched on just kind of the fatigue factor tonight, but in addition, how much of a factor was the team's, health and availability in tonight's game?
That links directly to the fatigue because Danny Leva, Connor, and Ralph have been doing a ton of minutes recently, and we're short on players, so we haven't really been able to rotate them as we would like to and to try to keep them fresh. And I think tonight was the first time I've seen the trio look really as tired as they were. And you saw fatigue in other places around the field as well, but midfielders had a tough night. They have a very good midfield, and Almeida's a handful for sure. And so I do think one leads to the other. The lack of depth and the injuries mean we just haven't been able to play as many guys.
Back to Matt.
Robin, Alex Gers back with his first start in league play in 2 months. Your thoughts on his performance and maybe how he was put in a difficult situation, given all the things that we've already touched on.
Yeah, I thought Alex did fine. I thought it was one of those where early in the game, when we're in a back 5, he's still trying to get used to the feel and the reads and what should be his responsibility versus what maybe should be Danny's or Connor's. And I think they worked through that pretty well in the first half. And in the second half, playing in a back four, I thought he was fine. Definitely in a tough position, just given how tired I thought the team was, but I thought he did fine.
Back to Brendan.
Sorry. With the Rocky Mountain Cup coming up on Saturday, a quick turnaround. After a result like this, what's got to be the key to get the energy right ahead of a derby game?
Yeah, they need to do everything they can to get themselves physically ready. We need to do everything we can to also help them get physically ready. But there's no time to hang your heads and wallow in this. We have another game in 3 days, as you said, a derby game, which is huge. And it takes, in these moments, it takes a lot of intestinal fortitude, meaning you have to be able to dig, because this is a big game for us this weekend. And the players know it, and I more than expect them to be up for it.
Robin, I hate to ask about Moise for 2 games in a row, but he's got some more minutes under his belt. How important is it, kind of along the same lines as Alex, to get some fresh legs in the back line and really have that rotation playing in what he's been playing next to the likes of Maxu and Danny and some of these really solid guys with a lot of minutes under their belt?
Yeah, it's important as we see, because we haven't really had that many defenders to make changes, with Beta being hurt. And as far as center backs, we haven't really had too many changes. So it's good. Moise has gotten himself healthy again. He was out for a while with his knee. So it's good to see that he's back in. He's a young player. He gives you good minutes and bad minutes, but it's all part of his growth. And it's important that he gets the minutes so that he can learn. It's definitely the type of thing you have to learn on the job, because certainly he's a good player, and this is a different league and a different animal for him. So for him to get minutes at this point, I think is really important for us down the road.
And just to follow up, I mean, have you seen that youth in his play? Is there some really apparent moments where you think, okay, he just really needs to just take some notes from some of these older guys, maybe?
Yeah, I think that I think defenders have to be extremely cerebral. And I do think Moise is a cerebral player, but he is going to encounter things that he hasn't seen, different types of players, different physical attributes, different skill levels, that sort of thing. And when you think about Danny, Lawless, Maxu, these guys have played hundreds of games. And Moise is very much in his infancy in terms of learning all the different nuances that are going to happen or going to occur week to week. So he's in it now. He's got his feet in there now, and it's up to him to grab hold of it.